Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming back. Sorry I had to miss last week. I was feeling a little ill. I had to take care of myself and my little ones. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually expecting our third child in the next month. And that's been keeping me real busy along with my responsibilities here as the fitness director at the Gold's Gym in Pelham, Alabama. But I want to thank everyone for coming back. And to start with today, we're going to pick up on the last topic, the starting point, a little bit, because I've had some debates since that last post over whether or not everyone feels that's the best way to go. And for those of you who may have missed it, last week or the last broadcast, we talked about setting SMART goals, specific, measurable. I'm sorry, I just drew a blank there, but specific, measurable, attainable, reevaluated, and time-sensitive goals. Those are SMART goals, and I still feel, despite some people preferring the BHAD or the BHAD, big, hairy, audacious goals, that SMART is still a better way to go. And we're going to look at this from a couple different standpoints. One, as you're talking about with these fitness goals, you need to make sure you're heading in the right direction. So you want these measurable goals, something that you can see a tangible increase or decrease from, so you know if what you're doing is working. If you're talking about a big, hairy, audacious goal, I think that's better for the long-term goals, for the lifetime aspirations. But for the short-term, immediate goals, particularly fitness goals, I really don't feel that it's quite the most appropriate way to go about it. For someone who is, 50% body fat, to say, hey, I want this 10% body fat. I understand the premise that you work harder for these almost unattainable goals, but in more cases than not, you see a lot where people just fail, where they say, I'm man, I've been working at it for 3-4 months and I've only lost 1-2% body fat. Oh my goodness, there's no way I'm ever going to see that. And you definitely are going to run into a lot of problems if you try to mix BHAD, the big, hairy, audacious goals, with the SMART goals. Trying to mix them together is really going to cause some upset. So I do, on the one hand, encourage people to have big, hairy, audacious goals for their lifetime aspirations. Just like nations or communities should have big, hairy, audacious goals where they all get together and get as much work done towards a common cause as possible. But when we're breaking it down, talking about our fitness goals, we need to have something measurable. We need to know whether what we're doing is going in the right direction or not, because it's too easy for things to have gone the wrong way. What you think you should be working may not be what's going to make the difference for you. So you need to have something that you're measuring, that you're reevaluating, that you give yourself a time frame, and use the time frame as your motivator. Use the steps towards success as a motivator, and do everything you can towards attaining that next step. And whether or not it's a small attainable goal or a big, hairy, audacious goal, I don't truly believe that it'll change how much effort you'll put into it. You set a goal, you're going to work to attain to that goal, and you're going to do what it takes to try to make it there. I see in my experience, no real true difference between someone who sets a bad goal and someone who sets a smart goal, and where that actually leads them. So I wanted to touch on that from some conversations that I had over the last 2 weeks. But where we're going to start into today is looking at what are the starting points. Excuse me. What are the starting points? And the starting points that I'm looking at are first the cardiovascular, and then dietary. With most fitness goals, we're talking about weight loss. In America today, most people are aiming for weight loss. So what we need to really focus on there is dietary control. Control is going to be a central issue in a lot of things that we talk about. The battle between the impulsive and the cognitive behavior. we need thought put into what we're doing. Too much of American behavior today is impulsively ruled, where not your emotions but your impulses, these craving desires that are determining what you're eating, how you're spending the hours of your day. These things are plaguing Americans right now. And as a personal trainer, as the director of a fitness department, these are the things that I'm seeing on a day-to-day basis that are ruining people's success. Is the fact that they have no control over their lives, over their actions. They have succumbed to their impulses. So the big place that we start with is the mental, physical control. So dietary control is where we're going to start out with. Control over your portion size. So if you're doing the family dinner, this is going to relate to fixing one plate of food and eating that, rather than placing bowls of all the food on the table and then taking seconds and thirds. This is something that has gotten into the culture of American eating, is the buffet style. Even at home, way too many places, and I've seen that myself in my own life experience, where you make the dinner, or whoever's making the dinner, and there's you have the whole entire bowl, this huge bowl of food put in front of everyone, and everyone goes around and serves up the portion size that they want. They eat that, and everyone's still sitting at the table, so they keep on eating. An excellent way to monitor your portion size: just fix one plate. Say you create an entire dish for a meal. Well, chop it up and serve everyone one plate. Leave the extras in the kitchen. Put them right away, or just leave them in the kitchen. Don't bring them right out to the table. So it's not so easy just to keep stuffing yourself. You have to let it give yourself some time, and this is very common, as you see in other cultures, how they will spend a lot more time talking and eating. The meal is spread out over a lot more time. It gives you a better ability to digest the food, but then you're eating slower, so you're not stuffing as much in. So that's a huge point that I must stress. Dietary control. This also is going to relate to those of you who have work, jobs, bringing food into your work, rather than having to step out, hit the fast food, or grab something. You see right here. Try to get it in here. I've got some carrots, a sandwich, a blueberry, all in a divided case, and that's something else that I'd really like to see a lot more of for everybody. Divided food plates. Cut up your foods into the different sections. It's been proven that eating different things at different times of the day, at eating different types of food in their own portions is much easier on your metabolism. So you should get a much better benefit out of that. Also helps with the portion size. You're breaking it down into smaller servings of some foods, larger servings of other foods. Very important. Dietary control. Start bringing food with you. Prepping food. So this should happen at least once, if not twice a week. Excuse me again. That when you bring your food home from the grocery store, if you don't buy things in some prep fashion already, to prep it then. Because there's way too much time to prepare a natural meal every time that you're ready for it. You need to have pre-prep meals. And this also helps, going back with cooking that meal and not having it all out on the table so you consume it all at once. This leaves the leftover options. So you have something you can put into meals and pack up for another time and take it on the road with you. We're running out of time real quick today. I am going to do another post and talking about some group fitness programs, particularly the Les Mills programs, because I've had a lot of concern recently over how to use these. Is there any true benefit to these fixed exercise requirements? So we're going to talk about that in the next post. But thank you for joining with me today. Remember, dietary control, the place to start for any fitness goal. Thank you. Goodbye.